We're just having a chat today. Grab your coffee. I'm going to do a little bit of a real raw conversation with y'all. So yeah, I'm feeling a little off today. Being a content creator who quit their job full time, 10 years in an industry, quit their job to do this, which basically feels like doing whatever I want all the time. Like, it feels like I play around, I play video games, I get to talk to y'all. So quitting a full-time job to do that and to come over here and just kind of hope that it works is pretty scary. And I don't really share that on stream a lot. I am 35 years old. As I said, I quit my job of 10 years, more than 10 years. I quit my job in October. Hi, Athena. Hi in the chat. I did a scary thing for myself, and sometimes I question whether or not that was a good idea. I question if that was a good decision or not. I question if I'm doing the right thing. I feel like my life is pretty chaotic some days, and I feel like I shouldn't be crying every day because that happens sometimes. When does it feel right? When does it feel like this is working? When does it feel like I made a good decision? Like I took the leap, and it paid off, right? And then I answer myself by that it's paying off now. I'm doing what I love. I'm doing things I want to be doing, but at the same time, it's really scary at this age and in this arena, I guess, where it's oversaturated. There's lots of content creators. Everyone wants to do it. And I don't have a whole lot of direction. Oh, Athena in the chat says, I think you are doing great. I appreciate little comments like that. I appreciate little pushes, even just those words. For those of you that follow me on Instagram or anywhere else, I do appreciate comments like that. So, comment, stories every once in a while. I think that people don't understand how much that means to creators when you just engage and you just let them know that you are there in your community. They believe in you. I think it's hard, and I think people don't want to hear about the hard stuff. But I don't think that's true. That's what I think. I don't think that's true. I think people do want to hear about the hard stuff. I think if they're going to connect with someone online, then they want to connect, really connect. And I think that might be what I'm missing. And I appreciate those of you that are here now. I appreciate those of you that have been here, because it means a lot more than you think to the creators that you love. You do matter to us. You are not just a number. I don't know. Again, 35-year-old, master's degree haver. I was Mormon for a long time. I don't know how many of you know that. But I want you to know those things, because I'm a person and you're a person, and I want friends, and I want, people to be there in not in real life, but real genuine connection. And we can still do that online. It still exists online, and it does. In the chat, hottest 35-year-old. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate comments like that. More workout videos in my Instagram chat. I plan on posting a lot more fitness stuff, a lot more workout stuff. That's a big part of my life, and I don't share it enough. I would like to share it enough. I'm not the fittest person you'll ever meet, but I'm fit. I try hard. I want to be better. I want to share that journey with you. And there's a lot of pressure from the outside Instagram world that, if you're not top tier fitness, top 1% fitness, that you can't give advice, you can't share, you can't be there. you can do whatever you want. I need to tell myself this, is that I can post whatever I want, and hopefully people will follow. And hopefully they'll see my journey and they'll relate to it, and then we can be friends. That's really what the point of it is. Box Wine Poppy, post more YouTube shorts. That's the hardest part. I want to. The hardest part is content and posting and posting and posting and fucking posting. It's so much. And I needed some sort of schedule, and I feel like the day just gets away from me. Like when I worked my 9 to 5, it dragged on. The day dragged and dragged. And now that I'm working for myself, there are just not enough hours in a day to do everything I know I want to do, to everything I think I should be doing, to everything I like. Finding my own schedule, finding what works, finding how is the hardest part. And and let's not even like talk about the platforms. You have to like jump through all of the platforms hoops. So again, for those of you that aren't content creators or that are looking, like Instagram has certain rules, and YouTube has certain rules, and Twitch has certain rules and things, and like it just sucks. It sucks to try to fight every single platform the right way. And when you're making your content for one platform and then another platform it's not okay on, or another platform strikes you, it's just like, God, every time I turn, I'm getting stopped on this journey. And you just have to keep going. You don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. I have to keep going because I quit my job. This is it. This is it for me. And I need it to work. So no matter how many times each platform strikes me down, no matter how many times I get confused at why one video got 3,000 views and another one got 50, I just have to keep going. And I hope that people see me. I hope that the right community sees me. And, I think I can't even hope some days. Hope is not enough some days. I think it just has to do. You have to grind. And grinding looks a lot different than I thought it would, or than I think it does. And I think most people do. Athena, one step at a time, absolutely. One day at a time, 1 hour at a time sometimes. When you work for yourself, they tell you that. When you quit I quit my 9 to 5 so I could work 24 hours a day for myself. And that's real. I've never worked harder for anyone than I will for myself. And maybe this is what that looks like, is a lot of introspection and a lot of grind and a lot of crying and a lot of feelings until I figure out a rhythm. And then I moved in the middle of it. That just kind of fucked everything up, but I need to have patience. I feel rushed a lot of the time, but I just need to do it. In the chat, push forward, you'll get through it, and we'll make it to where you want to be. I appreciate that. I know that that's true. I just wish that it was faster than I knew or faster than I guessed. So in order to like make it all happen, it is so many pieces. It's a huge learning curve. I can't even tell you, like, again, as a 35-year-old, like I had to learn what Twitch was. Like I hadn't played Fortnite or on a PC before a few months back. And that's a learning curve. Even just the jargon, like I think people that grew up with like gaming language, chat language, it's so natural for them and it's so unnatural for me. And I had to learn that learning curve. And I love that community, and I love getting on Twitch, and I love watching other creators on Twitch and interacting with people online. But like it just smacks you in the face how much you don't know about that community, because if you're not involved in Twitch or YouTube or any of that, you don't know all of the rules. And I haven't given myself a proper training period to learn all of that, and it might take a lot longer than I thought. So I think like in order to overcome all of those hurdles, I have to calm down, and I don't want to. I'm so competitive. I don't want to calm down. I don't want to. I just want to have it all figured out and know it all. And I don't want to give it patience, and I don't want to give it time, and I don't want to go to therapy, even though I do. Everyone should go to therapy. I go. And the one I go to, I love, and I go twice a month. You have to go to therapy, especially through shit like this. I don't know how else you would get through something like this. So I have to, I just have to have faith. Over in the Instagram chat, forget games and talk to us. I love that. What's the new one that everyone's doing? I can't do it yet. This one? I think that's it. This one. I did this one. This one as a kid. Yeah. In the chat. Hi, loves. Forget games and talk to us. I love it. Yeah, I for those of you just joining, I'm just talking about how difficult it is for me, switching over from working 9 to 5. I was an associate. That's a little higher. It's a little flex there for you, but I was an associate director of admissions for a medical school. So I did medical school admissions for about 10 years. I have a master's degree in health communication. And I gave it all up. I gave it all up to come over here and content create and do something for me and build my own community instead of join someone else's. And it's been rough. It's been amazing and beautiful and different and hard, and it sucks, and it's great, but it sucks. It sucks to learn something you haven't learned before. It sucks having to realize how much you don't know and break yourself down to building blocks and say, okay, I don't have all the building blocks for this. And now I have to get on YouTube and teach myself, because no one's holding my hand. No one's going to teach me. No one's going to do it for me. I can't pay anyone right now. I work for myself. I do content myself, and I just have to keep going. In the chat, you're such an amazing woman. I love your strength and ambition. I thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate and love that, because I just don't believe that some days. I don't believe that some days. And that's part of the problem. That's part of the therapy. That's part of the growth and starting over at my age. And I know 35 is not that old, but I feel old compared to all of the other content creators. Comparison is a thief of joy. Don't ever do that to yourself. But I have trouble taking my own advice sometimes. And I have trouble understanding myself and trusting myself. And it's really easy to say all this right now. It's really easy to talk to you and tell you all of my problems, but that just definitely doesn't mean that I have it figured out. And I think anyone out there feeling these same things, that I can confidently tell you what's wrong. I can confidently tell you, I am self-aware and I know what's happening and I know what my problems are, but I don't have the tools to fix them. In the chat, we need to have weekly work calls, accountability partners. Who's in? Let's have a broadcast channel. Let's have a chat. Let's have a work call. I love that idea, actually. Let's have a weekly Zoom call. Everybody tell each other what they're doing, and accountability, and what have you gotten done. And I think it's hard. I think being accountable to yourself is the hardest part. And that's backwards. It's so backwards that being accountable to yourself is the hardest part. I don't like the idea that I'm able to be accountable to a boss and not to myself. That's good. That's cringy, right? Don't you want you to be in charge of you? Don't you want, we, as children and through adulthood, we were never taught how to be accountable to ourselves. We were always accountable to parents or to teachers or to church leaders, or for me personally, to church leaders, to God, to, we're accountable to someone else. And that doesn't teach you internal ambition. It doesn't teach you internal self-discipline. And that sucks. That sucks. I don't have that now as an adult. I'm having to figure out how to develop that. I want you to know me. I want you to know what kind of person I am. I want you to know that I'm a real person on the other side of the camera, and I'm just a person trying to make hobbies into work, into dreams. And I know that from the other side, it looks like, oh, they're just posting pictures. Oh, they're just talking on camera. Oh, they're just playing video games. But that's not what it looks like. Like, that's not what it looks like behind the camera. It's so much work. It's so much work. And we're not just playing video games. As an introvert that can sometimes be an extrovert, it is work. It is like, okay, like I want to connect with these people, so I want to show you who I really am. So here I am. Here's all of me on camera, and whether I get embarrassed or whether I get scared or whether I get pushback or whether I get really negative comments or trolls online, I still come back for those of you that I love to interact with, and for those of you that love me back. I can't tell you like how much that keeps me going, because the negative comments, the trolls online, the things that people say to you behind the keyboard are so awful that they stick out more than the positive comments sometimes. Yeah, back to gaming a little bit. I think it's more of it's less about gaming and more about me as a person. So when I was a kid, so again, I'm 35 years old. I was born in 1988. I'm not ashamed of that. Don't ask people how old they are if they don't want to share it, but I'm very open about that. So born in 1988, which means I think my first console was a Sega Genesis. Yeah, I had like a Sega Genesis. I think that was my first. And then I had PC games, but again, they were like little kid games, right? I tried to find some of them online the other day, and I couldn't on eBay, but I don't think they'd work with any of the operating systems now. Yeah, I had a Sega and I had a Nintendo 64, which I still have, by the way. I still have it. It's in my living room, my Nintendo 64. I should play some of those. That's where I fell in love with gaming and Zelda and Sega, and just I played Tomb Raider. I played the very first Tomb Raider on PC. But back then, this might sound kind of crazy and kind of dumb, but back then it was like not cool. It was not cool for girls to play video games. Gamer girl was not a thing. That was for boys, and that was not in my culture, and maybe in other states, the rest of the world, but I grew up in Utah, like full-blown Mormon, and that was just like not something that girls did. It wasn't ladylike. It wasn't cute or fun, or it's very cute and fun now. Like girls like games too, but back then it was like girls like games too. Like, but it was embarrassing. I felt like it was something I had to hide as a kid, because I was supposed to be a cheerleader. I was supposed to be a dancer. I was supposed to be, girly and love everything like that. And that's just not, I was pretending on some level, to be somebody I wasn't. And I've always had to kind of hide that. Anyway, I played games all through school. Like I had an Xbox, I had my Nintendo 64. That's where I fell in love with Zelda. Zelda like has my whole heart. I've played that from the beginning. I didn't ever get the console in the middle. What's the I lost track when I like became an adult and had to get a job and stuff, which sucks because I never wanted to give up gaming. I just did. Whatever console in the middle, I didn't play some of those games, but now I have a Switch. I'm back on my Nintendo Switch. I only got that in August. So I'm only back on Tears of the Kingdom, and it's been years and years and years since I played Zelda. Besides the ones on my old Nintendo 64 that I play sometimes. Hi Adrian, just woke up from a gym after nap. Oh yeah, Athena says GameCube, Wii. Some of those I think had some Zelda games on there. But anyway, I didn't play those. I'm back on Nintendo 64. So by becoming a gamer, or trying to anyway, for those of you that have played with me. Oh yeah, I totally played Guitar Hero. I played actually one called DJ Hero that I was so good at and I loved. But growing up gaming like that. I got an Xbox. On the Xbox 360. That's the first one, right? I think it was. No. Anyway, Xbox, I played Assassin's Creed. I played all of those up to recently. I got rid of one of my Xboxes got Red Ring of Death. I played like a ton of Assassin's Creed games, a ton of Mass Effect games. I played Grand Theft Auto back on those old consoles, and always kept that a secret. I always kept that a secret. I guess not a secret. I just didn't talk about it. I've been married. My ex-husband and I would play together, or like I would play in front of him, or like, and then when we lived together, we had a roommate back in college, and I would play games with him, but it was just kind of like, but it was still a little embarrassing. Like I just was a little embarrassed that was my thing, because like girls didn't play video games. And I'm so happy, and it's so healing now for me to try to put this out there for the world to see, to try to make this into a job, make this into a career, and that is actually possible, like because of Twitch, because of the community, because of online forums and platforms, and because people have made this into a reality. It's healing. It's very healing for me to know that I can do this. It's just now whether or not I can make it work for me. I still have this like little hesitancy about all of this, but it's weird. I have to just throw myself into it and know that I'm starting from the beginning, that I'm starting from square one. I'm an expert in my field. I'm an expert in the field that I quit. And it's really hard to not be that anymore. It's really hard to know how to start from scratch and say, I don't know anything about this, but I'm going to learn. I'm going to teach myself. Anyway, that was my little, what do I call it? Therapy session today. So I don't know. I hope you got to know me a little bit more, and I think I got my message out. I hope I did anyway. I hope y'all are here to stay.